Hello there, I'm Presley, and today I will be talking about some more horror games I enjoy. Let's go ahead and start this off with The Quarry. The Quarry is an interesting game. In it, you play as 9 camp counselors that work at Hackett Quarry's summer camp. And it takes place after all the kids at the summer camp have already left, the counselors are getting ready to leave. And without spoiling too much of the story, one of the characters decides that they are going to sabotage the van, that they're supposed to head back into town on. And they do this because they want an extra night to try to rekindle a summer romance that they had with another character. The owner of the camp, he gets worried over this being messed up. So he heads into town himself to try to go get them help. The owner tells them to stay inside the lodge and, not be outside during the night. But, of course they decide they're going to throw a big bonfire party because of course they do. I really enjoy the supernatural elements at play here. Now, I really enjoyed this game. A few characters died during my playthrough. I went into more details about how they died specifically in my review of this game that I posted a while back. My personal favorite characters from this game would of course be Ryan and Caitlin. Now Caitlin is played by Brenda Song. Needless to say, when I was playing the game originally, I was very shocked to see her name appear in the opening credits. Next up is Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares 2 is, if I recall correctly, technically a prequel. In it you play as Mono, and later on you meet Six, the protagonist of the first game. And basically you go around as Mono and Six, wandering through different areas. At some point you end up encountering the tall man, who is, as his name would suggest, a very tall man, who comes out of a TV. Now, my least favorite part of this game, hands down, is the mannequin section. I hate the mannequin section so much. I died so many times in that mannequin section. And if you've played the game, you know what mannequin section I'm talking about. When you have to maneuver through all the rooms of mannequins, that won't move as long as you have the flashlights shining on them, but they're everywhere. And they'll start running after Mono as soon as the light's not on them, and I died so many times in that section. Love the game, outside of the mannequins. Love the game, it was great. I'm super excited that they've announced that they're making a third Little Nightmares game. Now let's move on to the last game I'm going to talk a bit about in this video. And I've also actually made a review of this game as well, which is The Evil Within. Now, I adore The Evil Within 1 and 2. If there's any game that I genuinely hope that they will release one day, it's The Evil Within 3. Anyway, back to the first Evil Within game. In it, you play as Sebastian, and Sebastian works for the Crimson City Police Department, and along with him are Joseph Oda and junior detective Julie Kidman, alongside another guy whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. And they get a dispatched call, that there's been a massacre at Beacon Mental Hospital, and they arrive there. Everyone's dead. Except for a single doctor who is in the surveillance room. And, they find him. Sebastian looks over the footage. He sees a hooded figure on the surveillance camera kill a few police officers that are there. And when he turns around, the figure's behind him. He's then, of course, stabbed by something. He blacks out. And when he comes to, he's hanging upside down in the underground part of the hospital. And, you know, we see this guy roaming around, you know, with a chainsaw. And basically, at the beginning, you know, you just gotta get the keys, you know, you try to head out, you know, a chase scene obviously ensues with the chainsaw guy, and after that, you know, he exits, you know, an ambulance pulls up, you know, Kidman's in it, the officer that was with them as well, whose name I'm forgetting, was it Oscar? It might have been Oscar. The doctor and the doctor's patient, Leslie, are in the ambulance. They drive off, you know, the entire town seems off, something strange, and then, of course, we see the other officer turn into, one of the haunted, the infected, zombie-like creatures, and, you know, attempts to attack Sebastian. That's like the very beginning of the game, and I love this game. I love this game so much. There's a specific section in the first game that I died a ridiculous number of times in. I died right around 50 times in this section, and it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I'm not, and that's the thing that makes me so unreasonably angry about this section, which is the Laura section, and I mean specifically the Laura section from Chapter 10. I hate this section so much. Laura's section was infuriatingly difficult for me, and I truly have so much disdain for that specific section. That being said, my favorite character from the Evil Within 1, without a doubt, is Joseph Oda. I adore Joseph as a character. I wish he appeared in the second game, you know, outside of that one little Easter egg. And you know, like, maybe if they ever make a third game, he'll appear there. And, interestingly enough, I don't really make too much stuff out of clay. But one of the first things I tried making was this tiny little Joseph. And I still think that he looks really nice. Well, this is where I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.